There's got to be a point in all of our lives when something happens and we become a seeker.
Hello again, fellow seekers. Welcome back. I'm your host, Chris Parks, artist known as Pale Horse. My co-host, Jay DeRocha, is away today. He's had to handle some small family emergencies, so I've been sending energy his way for him and his family, but he'll be back again next week. It's been really wonderful having these weekly check-ins or these weekly downloads, or ability to sort of share what's been coming up for us through the week personally, and then also for the project, the Seekers of the Eternal community that we're building. It's been really a fun challenge each week, having to tune into inspiration and see what arrives to be able to share. And for this project, as I've been talking about, it's a really fun adventure that continues to show itself and expand every week. And the vision for what is being created here is coming clearer and clearer each week. And so I'm looking forward today to just spend some time sharing what's been coming up for me as I've been turning inward and looking for guidance for the Seekers of the Eternal community as we begin to, like right now where I'm at, I'm really rounding the corner, getting close to completing all of the 70 traits for the Hanuman Warrior series of artwork for the Web3 community that we're building. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with or haven't really explored the depths of Web3 or gotten excited about some of these things that are coming, maybe turned off by NFTs and all of these things that kind of popped up early that maybe leave a bad taste in your mouth about the word NFTs. And believe me, I share your sentiments there. Really, we're a lot of people are looking to even coin new terms. We talked a little bit about in the last podcast, as rather than calling them NFTs or digital collectibles, or another word that helps balance that stigma, because the ways that ownership on the blockchain of various items, like digital items, can be very powerful and has infinite ways that they can be used. So if you haven't seen ways that they've been used that you've enjoyed yet, stick around, because it's going to continue to get more and more interesting. And the more time that I spend imagining and exploring these realms, the more excited I get about being able to share through these new tools. As in my own exploration of this Web3 realm, it's becoming more and more clear that what we can do as artists with something like this is to create a community, create something special, something amazing, something creative and fun, a world that's based around our artistry, our interests, and then find like-minded friends to build a community around. It's like, what do you want to explore? And then we decide, we put our hands in and we say, all right, this is what we want to explore. And we want to gather together with other friends who are interested in playing with certain ideas or certain artwork, or there's so many different things, different music or movies or anything that you want to get interested in. You can create communities around. And anything that artists are building, you create your own world, and then you invite people to play along with it. And the NFTs, the tokens that we create, the images that are available, become available for purchase. That's like a membership to the club. And when you spend money on something, you're have a tendency to take it a little more sincerely, So if you spend a little money on something, a membership for a gym, say, you're more likely to go to that gym than if it was just free for everyone. You might just have it sit around and never use it. So that's one interesting thing about, it's like a sort of like, you can think of a Patreon setup where people are paying to be part of exclusive content from artists and from authors and anybody that you're interested in. This is a way to purchase a token, and then if you ever want to part ways, you can sell that, and the energy that has been put into the project, that energy goes into the tokens. That essentially is the idea. The more energy that continues to go into a project over time, the value of those tokens increased. So that's kind of the idea with it here. But really, for me, it's a way that I get to ask myself, like, what is it that I really want to be doing with my time as an artist, as a spiritual practitioner, as a soul? And that's this journey that has begun through taking this leap out into the Web3 world, and then the project that has emerged here based around Hanuman and the Ramayana is exactly that. It's what I'm most interested in exploring creatively right now. And it's been a interest of mine for, I guess it's maybe been 20 plus years since I first saw Hanuman in Thailand, images of Hanuman and artwork and sacred art and temples. And ever since then, I've had this just huge curiosity about Hanuman, the monkey army, the demon king Ravana, Rama and Sita, and this whole story. So with this project, it's allowing me to focus deeply on this ancient epic story. So I'm designing my life in a way where I get to spend more and more time diving deeper and deeper, exploring the many retellings of the Ramayana. It's this ancient story. We've talked about it before, this ancient story that was brought into form in Sanskrit, who knows, maybe 3,000 years ago. I don't know when it was first written down in Sanskrit by the sage Valmiki. But before that, they say that it was an oral oral tradition that was passed down from master disciple. And then it's also been enacted in plays and retold by storytellers for just, maybe the beginning of time, if time ever had a beginning. It's just always been in the consciousness of humanity, which is so fascinating to me, that there can be this story that continues in popularity, continues to grow in popularity, even during times in India when the caste system got so twisted and made it so that a lot of the population, because of being of a lower caste, were illiterate because they didn't even have access to education and to literacy. And so, but this story, it kept being accessible to everyone. When the sage Valmiki wrote it, then it was translated by another sage later on, Tulsidas, who made it more accessible and more into a poem of bhakti, love, and a way to just fall in love with life and with creation and with the creator of life. And it was by sailors and street sweepers, and everybody could be a part of this ancient, great, epic story. And it was acted out in plays, and it was written into so many different versions of the story. They say it's the most generative story ever told, that It's, there can be thousands of different versions of the Ramayana. The Ramayana can be told from all the different perspectives of the different characters. So you can find yourself, the more you spend time with the Ramayana, feeling a connection with the different characters in the story. And you, at different times in your life, you may feel different connections with different characters. And it can become so very hyper personal and curious. And as I've been exploring the Ramayana on my own, and also my path, which I talk about a lot here, is the path of Kriya Yoga. I'm a disciple of the awakened master, the avatar guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. And that is my path. The religion is pranayam, which is self-mastery or mastery of the life force energy in the body, learning how to close down the doors of the senses, turn all of the awareness inward, and learn to move the energy up through the astral spine and to the spiritual eye. And that is the ultimate goal of this life. And I've been thinking about it really more and more. And a lot of my teachers at Ananda, that's where I was initiated into Kriya Yoga through my teachers at Ananda Village and worldwide teachers everywhere. That is the goal of transcending this game that we're in. Eventually becoming a fully awakened master, an fully enlightened being, to be in a state of divine bliss for eternity. So it's ever existing, ever conscious, ever new bliss. That's what we're all seeking in our lives. That's why we come and play this game, because we are seeking this. It's really the only place to actually find it is here in the game. We have to come play this game, but we get caught up in this game. And so I've been, one of my teachers at Ananda, wonderful, he's one of the teachers at Ananda Village in California, Nayaswami Jyotish. He had a wonderful blog post where he was relating the concept of Yogananda's approach and his teachings and this life as a video game. I'll read here from the blog post. I think this is really fascinating because Yogananda, he says here, Paramahansa Yogananda often spoke of this world as being like a dream or a movie. Today he might have used the analogy of a video game. Imagine a complex and incredibly addictive game called life. If we were thrust into a game with no memory of previous ones, we could be fooled into thinking that the current incarnation was all that existed. As long as we stay within the game of duality, we must play by its rules, which are designed to keep the game entertaining by threatening our order with chaos. As long as we are entertained, we will keep hitting the button that says, play again. And there's more here to that blog post. I'll post a link to it. It's really fascinating. But this really spoke to me and got me really thinking about life as a video game and how this idea really flows perfectly into the teachings of my guru Paramahansa Yogananda, and this fascination that I have with the Ramayana, this epic story of Hanuman and the monkey army and the God come to earth, the avatar that came to earth, Vishnu that comes to earth to play this video game as Rama, and the goddess that comes to earth to play the video game as Sita. And they say that it was an incarnation of Lord Shiva that came to earth to be a loyal friend and servant to Rama. Was Shiva that came to earth as Hanuman to be his loyal friend and servant, and the one that would help him play this game. Whenever whenever Vishnu needs help, he waits for Hanuman, and Hanuman is there, and Hanuman is always tuned in, no matter what situation or circumstance he's faced in this great story. He's always inwardly tuned in to his guru, Rama, and he's mentally chanting Ram, 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 Ram. And Rama is able from there to guide and direct Hanuman so that he's never really afraid, even though he's playing this game, this movie. He's a great actor. He's a great player of the game, but he's never fully caught up in it. And so that's the way that we can approach our life as the metaverse and as virtual reality video games become more and more normal and pervasive and taking over this world, this augmented reality that's coming, all of this AI art. It's getting very, very interesting. It's so fascinating, and I'm really looking forward to these years ahead to see all of the beautiful things that come, and to be a part of it, to play a part in working with these new tools and creating things that will bring happiness and help to uplift us, to help us play this game better. So I wanted to really kind of in this podcast break down at least the way that I'm seeing where this project is going. So with that as a basis, my path of Kriya Yoga, tuning into my guru for guidance and for intuition, I am studying the Ramayana deeply. I've dedicated my life and my time and my career to now being able to study, listen to while I'm drawing various audiobooks of the Ramayana, chanting to Hanuman, and slowly learning to chant the Hanuman Chalisa, and creating all of this artwork around Hanuman and the Ramayana, and being able to start now to explore this journey of the Ramayana with you as I embark on this. I'm going to start going through the Ramayana and sharing various lessons that I'm learning from what I'm reading, the teachers that I'm listening to. And this is a very wonderful, exciting phase for me, because I can't really imagine anything that I want to do more. I've always wanted to really dive deep into the story of the Ramayana. For me, I think what causes a lot of pain, I guess, in this world is the rapid pace of things coming in and out of existence. It's so fast here now. And all of the movies and the TV shows and all of the news and everything that we're just seeing, this endless entertainment, it's just, I needed to, I think what hurts me is like just, watching movies or something with somebody else. I would rather just watch one movie for a long period of time and maybe watch it over and over until I really can understand the deeper meanings of it, what was being conveyed through the artist, the director, the actors, the story being told. What are the deeper meanings that can come to me through deeper study of all these different things, movies and shows? So since most people don't want to do that, I want to create this community for people who are interested in doing that. Let's take this one great, there isn't, I can say, a greater, epic, wonderful, colorful hero's journey, quest, tale than the Ramayana. I mean, there's so many great scriptures, and they all have infinitely expansive. I mean, the Mahabharata and a portion of that, the Bhagavad Gita, contains the keys to transcendence. So I'm not saying that one is greater than the other, but the fun, colorful nature of this makes it so accessible for so many people across any walk of life, and has been for all of these years. And they say that as long as they're, in I believe it's in Valmiki's Ramayana, that says to the effect that as long as the mountains stand and the oceans exist on the earth, then the Ramayana will continue to be told. And it can be told in so many different ways. And so there are so many different versions of the Ramayana that you can tune into. And I would like for us just all be exploring all of these and to be able to connect together and talk to each other about them on the Discord, through Twitter Space, through all of these different channels of the community, and through the podcasts I'll be sharing. And I'm not embarking on this journey alone. I'll have my co-host Jay with me. We'll be exploring these together. My brother Matt, who is also a Kriya yogi and disciple of Yogananda, with me as well on various episodes talking about the Ramayana. We'll also be bringing in guests, spiritual teachers, my teachers from Ananda, to share stories and to share insights around the Ramayana and this practice, as well as the Seekers of the Eternal team that you have grown to know and love through the Discord channel and through the Twitter spaces that we host, getting to know the whole team. And then also our moderators on our Discord. They're with us as well on this journey. It's been so wonderful connecting with them, and I'm sure that you've been enjoying connecting with them in the community. That space has so much potential. And so all of us together are embarking on this journey together, and we can really tune into the Ramayana in a deep way. And the more that we tune into it and put an intention that we want to learn and grow from spending time with the Ramayana, listening to these podcasts, looking at artwork. There's so many rabbit holes that you can take and explore, maybe creating your own artwork, maybe your own short stories around the Ramayana. It's endless what we can do. The fan art that we can create together is going to be extraordinary. And so I invite you to come along with me on this journey and be my traveling companions as I dive into this. And I'll say it's not something that I've leapt into lightly. I've had used the practices that we talked about in earlier podcasts about when you have an idea, really using introspection and using discrimination to determine whether it's something that you should embark on or not. And I've gone through the fire of that, and all signs are pointing to yes, to continue with this. So I'm feeling very inspired and passionate about going down this journey, this road. And I also wanted to mention that as I begin this exploration into the Ramayana, I'm really considering myself a white belt, even though I've had an interest in it for a long time and I've read the story many times. I'm really seeing myself as a beginner. I didn't grow up with this story as part of my childhood like many in India have, and I'm going to get names incorrect, and inevitably I'm going to twist the story or say things incorrect. So if that happens and you notice anything like that, really feel free to send me an email, reach out, and any sort of factual things that I get incorrect, I'd be happy to correct those in the next episodes. I want to make this as factual as I can, but I also want to keep it really free flowing, where it's so much more about the insights that are coming through over just a dogmatic factual, but it's really important to get those correct too. So I just wanted to make that caveat. I've got some notes here. I just wanted to kind of look through. There's so many things that I want to talk about, but I want to kind of just set this up for us to be able to dive in together. These are just a lot of thoughts that I've been looking to organize a bit. So I'm just kind of doing that here with you today, and it'll continue getting more and more clear. But this life as a video game, when I posted this on Instagram, I had a lot of friends responding to me that's saying that they had been thinking about this as well, that this hit them kind of right at the right time, that this is a exploration that they're interested in. So I'm taking that as a sign to let's go ahead and do this. Let's set this up as with a framework around life as a grand multi-sensory video game, highly addictive, so full of pitfalls and challenges and beauty and wonder and storytelling. This movie video game that we're in, that's, our entertainment is becoming more and more like this. In the video game, we will double as actors, also as viewers. As you're playing a video game, you're the actor in the game. You're also the viewer, the enjoyer of the situation, watching the story unfold. And that's how we can really approach our life if we start to train our mind. And the Ramayana is a wonderful, those game genies, those cheat books for the video game. So in the video game of life, we can look at the Ramayana as our esoteric cheat guide, where hidden inside of these stories are all of the answers to play this game in the most calm, thoughtful, beautiful way that we can, not having knee-jerk reactions to situations. So in the Ramayana, there are so many different circumstances that arise, and we get to put ourselves into the place of the characters and how do they respond? How do they react? Are they caught up in the different things that would cause more chaos in life? Or are they making choices that are bringing more harmony and balance to their life? And by reading the Ramayana, we get to see these different situations that can be perfect metaphors for things that we're going through in our own life journey. And we can see how each of the characters respond and what is the karmic response to the decisions that they made. And we can learn to, you can really learn to use this to become, on a material level. There's so many levels to the ways that you can use the Ramayana. And so no matter where you are spiritually or in your life, you can start playing this game. So if you're looking for material things like being healthier, being wealthier, being just happier and having a more dynamic and adventurous life of accomplishing your goals and having dreams and going out and accomplishing those dreams, the Ramayana can teach us how to do that. It can show us how to do that, and together we can encourage each other to accomplish the things that we really want to accomplish in life. We didn't come here to sit around and to waste time and then die and then do it over again. We're supposed to have, we're supposed to achieve things. We're supposed to have desires, good desires. We all have them, so we should go after them. And the Ramayana can help us to do that. And also the character of Hanuman, we can attune to Hanuman. They say that Hanuman really helps us to achieve all of our desires in life. So eventually, when we start to realize these desires, when we have accomplished our dreams, when we've gotten the things that we thought we wanted, we've had all of the romantic relationships, we've seen the beauty, we've traveled the world, we end up realizing that these things don't actually bring us the true ever conscious, ever existing, ever new bliss that we were looking for. But we had to go through all of these desires and playing this game to get to a place where we're looking to transcend the game, to transcend these things. I've experienced that in my own life through, I really feel like the plant medicines and all of the spiritual practices and things that I've worked with over the years have allowed me to see some just incredible beauty and experience wondrous visions and realizations and astral realms. And you get to a point after a while when you've had so many of these that they lose their luster. And I even have trouble sometimes enjoying the the beauty of a vast psychedelic experience, because I know that it actually, it doesn't lead to full joy that exists. It's still sort of an external beauty, like going on a vacation or something like that. But through the practice, we actually learn to enjoy all of the material things, all of the beauty in this world, all of the visions, all of the art, all of the music that is uplifting. We get to enjoy it and experience it and enjoy it more. And so that's the the various levels that can be played here. And so with the Ramayana, it becomes hyper personal. You might find yourself, as you're reading this, you might find yourself in meditations, or perhaps if you use cannabis and you sit in, maybe after a meditation and after reading the Ramayana, sitting and just pondering the story, you might find yourself moving into the experience of the characters of the Ramayana. That happens, different plant medicines can allow for that. I'm not recommending anything like that. If you're here and you don't use cannabis or plant medicines, then congratulations, like you're already far beyond me. I still, I use the bridge to awaken these realms to be a little bit more accessible from time to time. But if you don't need them to get there, they're certainly not necessary. The highest level is really just to be finding that, if you can close down the doors of the senses, use the scientific techniques of meditation, you can find these experiences completely without plant medicine for sure. But they can be nice bridges for some of us who are not experiencing them without it yet. So in this game, the yogis say, this is also from the blog from Jyotish that I read earlier, that yogis must balance the two goals, the goals of material success, abundance, that balance as opposed to the chaos of life, to be able to walk that line of more balance and harmony and having the material needs met. So we must balance these two goals, and these teachings will indeed help us live successfully in this world of Maya. But more importantly, they also show us how to achieve unity, moksha, and escape altogether from the dream of duality. Our job, spiritually speaking, is to overcome the chaos caused by the ego consciousness. So that's talking about, transcending this. But as yogis, if we're playing the game on that level, we are becoming masters of the material world, masters of the physical world, and then also masters of the spiritual world within. And that's that's the way that I'm playing this game. And I'll be going through the Ramayana and just presenting what I'm learning. So you don't have to dive in as deeply as I do. You can approach this and enjoy this as entertainment. But I'm so thrilled about being able to focus so much time on this subject matter and then just sharing what I'm learning with you. And hopefully it illuminates and inspires you. It sparks a curiosity in you to keep exploring all of what the Ramayana has to offer. It's vast and infinite and so colorful and beautiful. And so in the Ramayana, it really allows us to take a step back, seeing the characters. Once we read the story and we know how it goes, we know that the big challenges and the big plot twists, the things that come up that seem very terrible in the moment, actually are always the perfect situation for the players of the game to accomplish their mission in the game. So in the Ramayana, the quick breakdown of this, just to give you an overview, it is that there is a king named Dasharatha, and Dasharatha is a king that is a king of kings. He is the highest sage, and he is beloved by the people, and he is the king of the world. He is holding balance and harmony with his virtue and with his honesty, and he's just a model of all of the virtues of what a human can be. But he has one problem in his life, and that is that he doesn't have sons, and he's been trying to have a son for all of these years, and it just isn't happening because he wants to be able to raise a son, and so that when he passes on, that he can leave his son to continue this rule that will ensure that the kingdom is well taken care of. So he feels really ashamed and down about this idea that he won't have sons. And in the story, he is praying for this, and he's asking his guru for how to, about having a son. And his guru takes him to a sage that enacts a yagya, a ceremony. And Dasharatha has 3 wives and in the story. And during the yagya, they're given this elixir that they each drink. And the 3 wives have sons. And there ends up being 4 sons. One of them being Rama, the next in line prince, the avatar of Lord Vishnu that has come to earth, and his brothers have come to earth to help him as well on this mission. And at the same time that the King Dasharatha was asking for a son, there was this great disturbance in the 3 worlds where this evil 10-headed demon king, Ravana, who has become just too powerful through his penance and through his deep, long tapasya practice, austerities, long meditations and chanting mantras. He has been granted boons from the Lord Brahma. And the boon that he has been granted is that he cannot be killed by any god nor demon. And so he has this air of all-powerful invincibility, and it's really gone to his head. He's just doing whatever he wants, and he's wreaking havoc. And all of the gods are petitioning to Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu for something to be done. And this is how it works, that Lord Vishnu, he decides to take birth. He listens to the pleas, and Lord Vishnu is the preserving force entity in the universe, that force of preservation that keeps this whole cycle going. He decides to take birth in order to destroy the demon king Ravana and to restore balance. And so when he takes birth, this is the son that Dasyaratha has, and is raising this child to become the new king. And of course, everyone loves Rama and the other brothers. And he is set for his coronation to be announced as the going to become the new king. And through some strange politics, Rama is banished from the kingdom. He actually, through a past vow that the king made that he had to remain true to, because remaining true to your word is of utmost importance. He is forced to banish Rama to the forest for 14 years. And this is after Rama has been wedded to his wife Sita, the goddess Lakshmi, who has come to earth. And he's banished, and Lakshmi comes with him, also his brother, or his wife. His wife comes with him. His wife is named Sita. And Sita decides to come with Rama on this very difficult banishment into the forest. They're used to living in the most pristine luxuries. And so this is a sign of a wonderful, true wife that will stand by the side of her husband no matter what. And also the closest brother to Rama, Lakshman, comes with them into the forest. And they go through so many, there's so many great stories and elements of everything that they go through in the forest. And as they're out in the forest, Sita is abducted by the demon king. Ravana sees her and is overcome by lust and desire, and he steals her away in his flying chariot. The descriptions of this flying chariot is so fascinating, to think that a story from thousands of years ago could be describing a flying chariot that operates on thought alone. This is like a futuristic, spaceship that operates on thought, called the Pushpaka, that the demon king Ravana flies across the worlds, across the universe in this, and he sees Sita and steals her and abducts her, and he brings her back to his kingdom in Lanka. They say is present day Sri Lanka. And because of a curse that was put on him long ago, he is unable to force himself on another woman, that he would be put to ruin if he ever forces himself again on another woman. So he thinks that he can woo and allure Sita into becoming his wife by choice. He foolishly thinks that she will be enticed by his riches and his power and all of this. But of course she is not. And so she is kept hostage in this kingdom of Sri Lanka that is over across the ocean. And as the story goes, as she is stolen, there were some monkeys in the trees that saw this happen. And through many different parts of the story, Rama finds his way to the kingdom of Sugriv, and Hanuman is his first man. Also, a high general in the monkey army. And Rama immediately knows that this is more than a mere monkey, that they're called the Vanaras in the story. The Vanaras are a race of very powerful often very intelligent, half man, half apes. And Hanuman is their leader. And Rama he sort of shows his hand in knowing Hanuman will be the one to find Sita, and he gives Hanuman his ring. And Hanuman is meant to bring this ring to Sita to show that he is looking for her, that he knows that she has been stolen by Ravana. And so Hanuman, he was cursed also as a young monkey. He was cursed to forget his powers. He's actually all powerful. He can do anything. He can become the size of the universe. He can shrink to the size of an atom. He can fly. He can jump across the ocean, no problem. He can destroy all foes. But he has forgotten this until, as the curse goes, until he is reminded of his potential. And so, as they know that Sita is across the ocean, that the vulture Jatayu tells them that it can be seen across the ocean that she is there, but they don't know how to get there. None of the monkeys can jump across the ocean. And then the bear Jambavan tells Hanuman, and there's nothing that you can't do. Awake and realize your true potency, your true potential, and leap across the ocean and go find Sita. And as soon as he hears this, he remembers his true powers and leaps across the ocean and goes on this epic journey to find Sita there. Of course, unallured by Ravana, completely dedicated to Ram. And Hanuman brings this news back because it is Rama that is meant to come back across the ocean to destroy Ravana and to rescue Sita and to rebalance this masculine and feminine energy that has been separated. And so as Hanuman leaps back across the ocean, reports the news, then the monkey army builds a bridge across the ocean, and all of the monkey army and the animal bear army and Rama and Lakshman all go across the ocean to fight against this enormous army of hordes of demons, and going through these battles to eventually destroy the demon king Ravana and to return Sita home. And that is the overall story. There are so many lessons and situations throughout. What I love is that in each of the situations that arise, these seeming dilemmas that have no way out, a lot of the translations, they peer into the minds of the characters and allow you to hear their thoughts and the thought process that they go through in order to make their decisions. And this is very crucial for me, like being able to listen to that and to sort of adapt how I'm playing the game when things arise in my life. What am I doing? Am I just unconsciously reacting? Or if it was like I was playing a video game and I was a new puzzle appeared in front of me, a new hand was dealt, if it's a card game or some new trivia or thing that you have to figure out, what do? You start to calm your mind. You can start to strategize and things like that and play out the different, if I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, then this will happen. You can also calm your mind, look inward, turn inward for inspiration. And that's what Hanuman does, and that's where Rama will guide him and give him the right thing to do. But all of the characters, whether they're demons or whether they're asuras, the asuras, the demons, or the devas, the gods, not all of the gods are always acting in a noble way, and not all of the demons are always acting in demonic or evil ways. Each of the characters has so much nuance. And just like when we watch a documentary about maybe some loathed character that we, heard about in the news when we were younger, and now you watch a documentary that really uncovers their full life and how they got there, you start to have sympathy for the devil. You start to see how they got there, and you start to sympathize with that character and realize that, oh man, maybe if that was me in my situation, I might have reacted in the same way. And you start to realize that there ultimately is no just good and evil in the universe. It's always just good and bad decisions made based on our life situations and the things that we've learned to that point. And with the Ramayana, if we're using this as our cheat guide, as our game genie for this game of life that we're playing, we can read about these situations and see how the heroes respond, see how the villains respond, and we can see what plays out when they respond in different ways. And we can see, oh, okay, when that happens in my life, I'll choose the way of the hero. This is from a book called The Essence of Self-Realization, collected words from Paramahansa Yogananda, where this was a part of the story where a disciple was asking Yogananda, as he was describing life as a movie. There weren't video games when Yogananda was around, but he would probably describe it as a game now, a virtual reality video game. And the disciple says to Yogananda, "But good sir, if good and evil are both merely parts of a cosmic drama or game, what does it matter what roles we play in the story? Whether as saints or as gangsters, our parts will be illusory and won't affect our true nature as images of God." And Paramahansa Yogananda laughed. He said, "You are right in the ultimate sense. But don't forget that if you play the part of the villain in a drama, in that drama you will also receive the villain's punishment. If, on the other hand, you play the role of a saint, you will awaken from this cosmic dream and enjoy the oneness of the dreamer for all eternity." Paramahansa Yogananda. And so I'm looking forward to starting this journey of going through the Ramayana, and then also sharing a lot of the teachings from Paramahansa Yogananda and my teachers at Ananda that dive into this life, this cosmic journey, this video game, and how we can start really consciously playing this game of life on any of the levels that you're prepared for. You can't teach a person who is hungry to meditate. You must feed them first. So if meditation is too far out of the realm of possibility for you, tuning into the Ramayana as your source guide, as your lighthouse, can be a wonderful way to open yourself up to these new realms, to learn how to become a master of the physical universe so that you can have more stability, more time to meditate, a life that has more balance and less chaos. I've noticed that for myself, the more I've been exploring these things, it's now led me to this point where it is my job to read and study the Ramayana, to meditate and to create sacred art and to share these things with you. Believe me, it hasn't come quickly. This is over a decade long journey to get to this point, and it's just been revealing itself through all of the challenges and trials. And I've realized, and I'm realizing more and more, that every hand that is dealt, every situation in the video game that I'm given, it is being given to me by my best friend, my higher self. My true self is handing me every situation, and that every situation is exactly what I need to move forward, to learn what I need to learn, to grow what I need to grow, and evolve myself towards the goal that I'm aiming at, and leading me closer and closer to fully awakening to the bliss, ever conscious, ever existing, ever new bliss that is our true reality beyond the game. Everything is leading me closer to that. And if something comes that is beyond what I can handle and actually leads to my death, which comes for us all eventually, then that death is actually an opportunity to, rather than just immediately, after you're playing a game, imagine, one of my teachers was talking about a game like Bejeweled, where you're constantly being thrown various combinations of jewels and you have to put them into the right spaces. Once it becomes too much and you lose the game, it's kind of like the death. And then without thinking, you can immediately, addictively hit play again and do it again and again and again and just keep playing. But the opportunity for death, if we have been practicing yoga and meditation and tuning into the guru, we can find ourselves in that moment of death, calm, sweet, happy, gaze uplifted at the spiritual eye, chanting our mantra, whether it be Rama, 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 God, Christ, Guru. We can find ourselves realizing that there is an exit to the game, that we can beat the game and then freely explore all of the wonders, the true wonders of this nature of ourselves beyond the limitations of the body, the mind, and the senses, and this game of duality. There's so much more beyond it. So it's been a pleasure sharing these thoughts with you. I hope they were entertaining, and I hope that they maybe spark some interest in you to explore this and go on this journey with us together, and finding so many new ways with this community through events that we'll be putting together for us to get together, and all of the artwork that is going to be created. It's so fascinating to me, and I'm so happy to be here sharing with you and being on this journey together. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, joy to you, friends.